Let's go! Snowflakes versus Fireflies today. Completely made up team names since we have another CCL exhibition match. So pretty much just like a pre-CCL games where the players can show their skills off a little bit. And our first map in this 3-mapper is Dragonshire. 3 maps are going to be played no matter the score, and this is number 1 on the left side. We have Locks on Brightwing, Slurd on Cassia, CPX on Tracer, Xerox on Anubarak, we got Mystic Leads on Blaze, and over to the right side of the map, C2D2 on Diva, Galaxy on Tychus, Xavalosh on Stukov, we got Mori on Diablo, and Mokri is playing Jaina. So, as already mentioned in previous games, there are some European players that play in these matches as well, and all of these games are hosted on the North American server, which obviously means that those players from Europe will have a pretty significant ping disadvantage, so keep that in mind. This time we have more North American players actually playing over here, and this is just for the upcoming CCL League that's going to be hosted in North America. So this is a bit of an exhibition setup where the players can show their skills off a little bit. Honestly, for lesser known players, that's kind of important, I'd say, or at least interesting. But of course, if you've been playing in HGC, then everybody knows who you are and what to expect from you. I guess for some of the European players it might be kind of neat too, since most of the orgs are from NA that will then draft players. So it's not like proper teams are forming and then selecting amongst themselves who they want to play with. It's all going to be a draft-based system, pretty much the system that we had in the European in-house league that we had at some point. This is also all played out on the newest patch, so there's definitely going to be a couple of changes in terms of talents. We already covered a few of those in the recent video. One of the changes is also the Anubarak, who now has some additional functionality on certain talents that he can play with. And that could be an interesting one, because Blizzard was really trying with this patch to make some of the talents that are not really picked all that much, to make it a little bit better, make them more attractive. One of the changes was debilitation on level 16. I'm still a little bit skeptical of if it's worth it or not. You must, I mean, if you go up against like a double mage setup, then maybe it becomes a bit of an alternative. To be quite frank, even there I doubt it, since Epic Enter Epicenter is just way better, and it allows you to just get these quick kills in, which caters to the playstyle of Anubarak a little bit more. But there's other talents that we have as well. Gazlo was changed heavily, so he's right now much stronger than he was before, and the same is also true for a couple of other heroes that we might see there. But the top you see one disappear. Get wrecked, Troll. Diva gets taken down. Brightwing and Tracer working in tandem as they're getting the kill. Nicely done. Anubarak already starting things off with the Underking here on level 4. But Tychus was also slightly changed, and Tychus is actually really interesting now, because you have Press the Advantage on level 1, which increases the range by 1. And one of the criticisms that a lot of players over the years have voiced whenever it came to Tychus and the balancing on him, it was that he just doesn't have the range that he needs in order to be successful in higher level play. Now, we've seen him sneak into drafts even before the patch every now and then, but it was a very rare occasion. Now that he has a range increase, that makes the hero a lot more interesting in a lot more circumstances. You can keep him alive a bit easier. We have him with the bigger they are, standard talent still to be picked on the level 4. And that's actually pretty cool. If you can lead, for example, if Galaxy can come in and lead with the bigger they are after a good stun and burn someone down, Jaina can follow up on it and then secure the kill. So there's a lot of cool options that they have with those things. Jaina, by the way, going into the Fingers of Frost and the Frost Armor over here. Jaina was always one of the heroes where, especially on the NA side, we've seen builds that differed very heavily from what the European scene has been playing. And already at the bottom, trying to control. Diablo coming in, Jaina with the miss, but Anubarak comes in and starts to connect the stuns. Xavalosh is dancing on the spot a little bit, trying to claim it, and he is close to making that happen. Cassia is actually diving in deep for this one, running straight into the stun from Diablo, who takes that opportunity to nearly set up the kill. Oh, instead it's Anubarak who's low, and he gets the stun connected barely. As up at the top side, we have another attack against Diva, who is able to make it out. But someone is moving into the middle. It is Tychus, or Renegade over here. Well, only one kill so far. Oh, CPX up at the top, already eating the damage. And we have a lot of action here, not only in the middle, but also at the bottom of the map, where they nearly took down the entire wall now. The soldier is in, Brightwing trying to help Mystic Leeds out. And here comes the Channer, and that's a successful Dragonite 4.5 minutes in for the Fireflies. Already trying to burn down the snowflakes over here. As at the bottom of the map, we have still a 3-man push, top side. Someone has to deal with the camp and with Blaze. Ooh, careful, baby. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what exactly she was doing there, but that could have been a kill. D.Va playing with fire, quite literally. Girl, you need to be a little bit more careful here. Not quite sure how to tell you that. If you would have moved out a little bit more, that could have been a kill. Dragonite, in the meantime, has successfully destroyed the wall in the middle. It is now rotating top, but the bot lane push is still happening. But I really gotta say that D.Va is playing with fire, quite literally. And that could have been a kill for sure. C2D2 needs to be careful, or Mystic Leeds is gonna take her down. Bottom of the map, finally, that pressure has also stopped. This, by the way, is another change. You can see that the relation between shield and hit points has been completely swapped out by Blizzard, which is kind of interesting and neat because it makes sure that those fountains are a little bit harder to kill. Not so much if you have the opportunity to really just like burn them down completely, but if you only try to poke with skills, it's much easier now to keep those fountains in play for the opposition, because all they gotta do is buy a little bit of time for those shields to regenerate. So it's much harder to use mobile heroes like, let's say, Genji, for example. Simply jump over a wall, burn the fountain down, and then move away from it. So that was actually a pretty cool change. Makes it a little bit more sustainable. Level 10 abilities are in on both sides. And, well, for now we got the Blink here. Already D.Va getting a bit attacked here. Also have the Cocoon in play, plus the Quantum Spike, Ball of Lightning, and the Bunker. Magic Missiles also a little bit stronger now after the recent patch. Same time now. And also more impactful with the sound, by the way. So that was an important one. Make sure that whatever you do also gets reflected in-game properly. Water Elemental is already out up at the top. Nice move. Straight onto the target. And that's the end of D.Va. But the counter kill against Tracer was a bait all along, baby. Bot side, Cassia might be in trouble. Great wall stun for Mori. Nicely done. And a good body block to follow it up. But Brightwing comes in and saves Cassia. Denied. Yeah, that was actually pretty neat. So now they're moving down to the bottom of the map, trying to take the camp here. But thus far, it has been a very even game, I gotta say. So this was actually kind of cool. Very even game, pretty much back and forth right now, which is pretty sexy. Now, on level 7, we got the Diabolical Momentum. And that one was changed in the sense that it no longer reduces the cooldown of Firestorm. So Diablo has also seen a couple of changes. But as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the changes within the current patch were small ones. Nothing too insane. So a lot of the builds will still be very stable. But we could see a few talents changed in the future, or a couple of builds experimented with, which is going to be pretty neat and nice to check out. But time will tell. For now, when we're looking towards Tigers, they're already sieging up at the bottom, trying to really take down the fort here, and they should be able to do that. Yeah, with the camp in particular. Oh, yeah, there we go. One down. Of course, Jaina is also working on her baseline quest, so once she has that done, she's going to have Ice Block ready, which is going to help her a lot with survivability. Great control here again. I really like the setup that they're using with these double stuns. I mean, having Anuburak and Blaze in the combo is nothing new. That's something the Koreans have done during the times of HGC quite a bit, and with also a lot of success, which was pretty sweet. So right now, if you have that defensive layer through the bunker, you can make a lot more plays with that, and that's exactly what they're currently trying to do here. Nice setup here again. Diablo coming in with the Apocalypse. Already the Cocoon out against Stukov. Jaina gets murdered, and they're looking for the double kill. But Stukov gets away, or at least he's trying to. D.Va still rotating between the lanes, but the early level 13 talent now for the Snowflakes, as the blue team is coming in with even more damage. D.Va starting to flank in from the side and pretty quickly realizing that she doesn't really want to be here. So she moves away from that spot. But yep, there we go. Same time now. Blaze trying to deal with the experience up at the top. I mean, he needs to get it, right? So he needs to move up. They were a bit late on that rotation because they tried to push with 4 or 5 heroes at the bottom of the map with great success, I might add. But CPX over here is just continuing to burn D.Va down whenever he gets a chance. Runs straight into Jaina though, recalls, and D.Va might be in trouble. Let's see. Dragonite has been stolen away by the blue team as the fight up here at the top happens. But they're going for CPX and he's down. So that's a great kill for them. Blue team has the Dragonite, but they're only on the map with 4 heroes right now. So they gotta be careful here. Same time now. There is a bit of a push for Nuburak, but of course the focus should be on taking the Dragonite apart. And especially with Jimmy having the ult up. If need be, he could even commit to that. Dragonite just rushing away. But you can tell on the map, it's getting a little bit iffy. The problem is that nobody's dealing with the top right now. That double push is looking heavily successful and will likely end with Fort falling if nobody rotates. D.Va is finally moving topside. Everybody was chasing that Dragonite, who so far hasn't done jack shit, but it created space. So Dragonite created some space. D.Va is defending the top now. I don't think the Dragonite has really done anything but using the Dragon's Breath, which isn't a bad thing, by the way. A lot of people, and I keep harping on this, they keep thinking that you get the Dragonite and the first thing you gotta do is right-click an opponent's tower, fort, keep, whatever. Nothing could be further from the truth. You have a lot of time on that thing. Even if you just create space, it's totally fine. Just make sure that it doesn't get burned down right away and use that Dragon's Breath to take those minion waves down. That's a huge win for your team already. So play it safe, play it slow, and then try to get success with that. So they created some space with it. They have now 4 kills to 2. And we have them half a level away from level 16. So it's actually a pretty neat move that we saw here. Virulent Reaction is in again. We got the Cruelty also for Diablo at this point. The Icy Veins, and with the Defense Matrix buffed a little more, we got the Neo Steel Coating in now. So Tyker's just going for the traditional setup. But he is at 26,000 damage. So you can already tell that simply because of that level 1 change and the increased range, Tychus is now getting a bit more useful in average games, not only in very niche situations. Where even there we have seen him only rarely, mostly when other heroes have been completely banned out. Topside though, D.Va is down again. Girl's getting a little bit murdered in this game. CPX honestly has a hard-on for D.Va and is just going in every single time to drop her over here. But we have 31,000 damage there for also on Trace. That's a good job by him. 26,000 for Tychus, who is now really starting to be a solid backliner here. Galaxy is definitely having some fun with that. But they still need him with the Sizzling attacks now, I suppose. Yes, level 16 is in for both teams. Sizzling's attacks are ready. And off we go. Mori, there we go. Diablo is down. Another kill. And here we go. Debilitation has actually been taken. And I'm still, for reasons mentioned earlier, a little bit on the fence of this. We'll see if it establishes itself as a solid talent here. Against the setup that they have right now, there's definitely a lot of ability damage coming from all the heroes here, so it can be quite useful. And I suppose at the end of the day, it will depend highly on what kind of style Nuburak players want to play. Normally with a hero, you're trying to go for these engage styles, but you're attempting to blow a target up quite quickly. He stuns in, someone follows up, and then the damage needs to be there to burst the target down. But I guess with that, we could see Diablo with a bit of a Nuburak with a bit of a different playstyle as well. Debilitation was absolutely useless before that change and was a massive, massive noob trap. But at this point, we might see it come through a bit more often. And that's definitely something to watch out for here. So Xerox right now is trying to make sure that the damage output of the opponent's team is slowed down a little bit. But he has the big fight already happening, and oh my god, it's a full-on 5 versus 5 brawl that we see. Diablo is down very quickly, and that ball just keeps jumping. Cassia with some serious damage output in that last engage. She's now sitting at 54 stacks. There's the Cocoon, they're isolating Stukov, and that should be a follow-up kill. And thanks to the stun, it definitely is. Brightwing gets the final hit in, and that's 7 kills to 2. Even Tychus was low in after this encounter. He's at 36,000 damage, way ahead of anybody else in the setup, but still trailing heavily when you look over to the blue team, where we have 48,000 for Cassia, 40,000 for Tracer. So they're looking great with this, and they're burning through the bot lane, taking the wall down. Up at the top, the attempt of course to go for a Dragonite as well, and with Brightwing jumping in, that shrine is theirs. So all they gotta do now is move back into the middle, and make sure that they're claiming the next Dragon Knight and they can at least take down another fort if they want to. So over here, yeah, nobody has a chance to move through the middle and interrupt this. And Cassia takes it. Dragon Knight is taken, and it's time to party and party hard. Let's get some of these structures destroyed. They still got a 1-level lead, so level 20 is also looking good for them. But can the red team somehow come back into this? Are we going to see one of those 6.5 out of 10 IGN moments? Or how is this going to happen? No combat mechanics, baby. Alright, so 16, by the way, gave us also the diverting power. Pretty normal to spec into the defense matrix on 13 and 16 for D.Va these days. We've seen it in a lot of games, a lot of builds here. And also, of course, a lot of the players here, let's not forget about this, are still all experimenting with the talent. So everything that you see here is more of an experimental nature anyways. Those are exhibition matches as mentioned before, and everybody is still trying to figure out, okay, what in the patch has actually changed for the better, what for the worse. We still have Blaze now up at the top. Main goal for the blue team is to get 20. I'm gonna get ahead on that. And at the bottom of the map, Tracer still zipping around as well. And CPX, I mean, generally speaking, he had a couple of really cool moments. He died twice. He's actually the only hero that died now for the Snowflakes. I think he's the major snowflake over here. But yeah, he did a pretty good job with a few of the kills, but he also dove very deep in some of those engages and got punished for that hard. Especially that recall at the top side earlier was a bit weird. Now, we got nearly 20 for them now. And if the blue team plays their cards right, they should be able to get that level 20 talent, maybe invite some of the camps. It's kind of interesting that they still didn't take that fort in the middle, so even objective number 2 didn't do all that much for them. But now that they have those storm talents coming in, they should have the power to easily move through. I mean, honestly, they should go for the camp here. They're a bit late, and that's actually kudos to the Fireflies, because they moved in and took this as they realized that soon they wouldn't get the chance anymore. Now that the fort is taken and level 20 is ready for the Snowflakes, they should actually start to be a bit aggressive and start to make the play. So at this point, we got the invisible friends in, we got the infinite lightning, get stuffed, rewind, fortified bunker, and let's check out what they can do with this right now. Over here, there's the keep under attack, and we had a 5 versus 5 in our hands, but half a level, a little bit more even missing for the Fireflies here. Yeah, already the early move from Galaxy here, straight up into Odin, trying to push this out. And this is honestly, I feel, one of the criticisms that I definitely have with the blue team a bit. They don't capitalize on advantages that they establish for themselves enough. In this situation, they should have probably pushed for the bot lane a little bit more, try to poke it out. Granted, it's not as easy with the composition that they're playing here, because as I mentioned previously, a lot of this is about engage with the Nubarak. But they're trying now again with the camp, but it seems to be a bit too late already. Very likely we're going to have the red team get their own level 20 in just a moment, so they might be able to save the keep here. But it's a pretty nuts one. Here comes Mori. Already the bunker is out as well. Galaxy comes in, trying to drop the damage, uses the trade and burns the Nubarak down, but it gets healed up quickly. The cocoon is up on Stukov. There's the bomb on the explosion. Topside camp, by the way, is doing a great job for the Fireflies as it's about to take down the fort. Galaxy is on full chase mode at this point. Needs to be careful that they don't turn against him. But so far they haven't. Has gone into the bob and weave over here, which is actually kind of sexy as hell. Because now we have even more range, and together with the level 1 talent, that makes Tychus a really interesting hero from the backline when it comes to damage output. Stun gets missed by Nubarak. Big fail over here. That hurt. That one was really important that it didn't connect. Infinite ball of lightning still bouncing, doing tons and tons of damage. Mori is dying as a result of it. And we could see another kill coming through as well. But boy, what a fight here. Topside fort, by the way, down. Yeah, but just look at that battle here. Nubarak goes down pretty much immediately. And then shortly after, we have that kill against Diablo. But at least they're trading 1 for 1 here. 8 kills against 3. Topside, again, the shrine is open, so there's a chance for the blue and the red team to get another Dragon Knight. And they're actually sitting in the middle. CPX! Oh, they missed him! No way! Oh, the Chinese Bushmeader. They went full on for the Admiral Akbar move here. It's a trap! And then they couldn't really spring it. That was unfortunate for them. He phase checks the bush and they just don't line their spells up properly. This could have been a real important one here. Okay, so now that we have all 5 on the map again, well, actually Dibbles is not back yet, but he will be in a second. Yeah, it's gonna come down to who gets the better engage. 78 stacks for Cassia, brings her to 75,000 damage at this point. We have Galaxy at 46k for his team, so Tychus is currently rocking the numbers on the side of the Fireflies. But it's all about the next team fight. And of course, if you take a Dragonite late in the game, even for the red team, that could be a huge deal because they can move through the bottom, take the keep and maybe even the core. Since those Dragonites scale pretty hard. Fight is already starting as we speak. This time the Infinite Lightning doesn't really do a whole lot. And can she escape? Stukov is down first. 1 down. And this is getting nasty. CPX is zipping around. Diablo trying to use his 20 to get another stun connected. And they're going for Cassia and they get the kill. Diablo's down too, but he had the souls ready. Quick ice block here from Mockery. Making sure that he doesn't fall either. Topside fort is about to go down though, so they're losing more ground as we speak. It is a 4 versus 4 on the map once again. And it seems like the blue team is trying to get another Dragonite. They're already sneaking Blaze towards the top, and 2 heroes are waiting straight in the middle. And for the red team, that pretty much means facing the music in the mid lane. The problem with that is, of course, that they don't have support right now, but if they get the quick kill, that wouldn't even matter. But they just can't get it. And now they are in trouble. Ice block is out, shouldn't be on cooldown. So Jaina needs to be careful, especially since we're having Blaze coming in from the side. And Jaina is dead. Yeah, our little ice queen over here is down. That's not the only one. Galaxy dies too. And that could be the beginning of the end. Honestly, it should be. 2 down. Mystic Lead still trying to go for this one. Over here, Water Elemental doesn't really bother with the Dragonite. And therefore, we will see the bottom keep fall 100%. And I would be very surprised if they don't go for core directly. 20 minutes in with the Dragonite and a full 5-man setup against only 3 defenders. Both of the damage dealers gone. That's pretty much the play right there. So here we go. Dragonite is coming in, starting to take it. And yep, off we go. Easy peasy keep. No chance. Absolutely none. And that just has to be game. There is no way they're saving that core. So as I said before, we're going to see 3 maps no matter what. The end score is going to be interesting, but no matter what the score is after map 2, we'll see a 3rd map. The first one 100% goes over to the Snowflakes now as the blue team locks in a victory on Dragonshire. Nicely played by them. Pretty cool game, but the blue team takes the lead in this series here. GG and well played. Game number 2, Volskaya Foundry. On the left side, the Snowflakes with Mystic Leads on Sonya, CPX on Junkrat, Lox on Tyrande, we got Slurt on Zarya, and Xerox on Muradin. So we got a good old-fashioned Muradin-Tyrande combo. Miranda is in action here. Kind of surprising. I mean, this is like 2016, 2017 style. And over to the right side of the map, the 2017. I don't even think anybody still played that. So Mori for the Fireflies on Johanna in the second game. We got Galaxy on Li Ming, Savalosh on Ana. We have C2D2 on Thrall and Mockery on Sylvanas. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a look at this one. And on level 1, the Trolling Thunder is already in. That's the first one that we're getting. We got the Demolitions Expert for Zarya, but the 5-man is already sitting here in the middle, whereas down to the bottom of the map we have a bit of a weird 3-man attack. That's a really strange one to try and burst the tower down. I'm not quite sure what exactly the thought process was here, but it's not like Muradin Tyrande are known to be wall busters or anything. If you have a Sylvanas in that setup, a Greymane or any other kind of damage dealer, that's a bit of a different story. But those 3 are not going to make a big splash down here. So what you normally see when you have this kind of setup is Muradin and Tyrande just roaming the map with a damage dealer, trying to get a stun combo with a Hunter's Mark and then bursting a target down. So that playstyle at the beginning is a bit strange, to be quite frank. And it doesn't really do a whole lot for them just yet, but we'll see how it works out. They have a very melee-heavy composition, so they definitely have a style that can work when they are trying to fight for the checkpoint itself. Of course, there's also the post-level 10 nano boost combo with Li Ming, and Galaxy might have been just completely fed up with game number 1 and said, okay guys, give me some resets, and we're going ham. So we'll find out how exactly how that's going to work out. But off we go. CPX and Mystic Leeds are sitting in the middle, starting to make their plays. We got a couple of stacks coming in for, first of all, Zarya, of course, and also on the other side for Muradin, who needs to connect a couple of Storm Bolts here. Has so far only connected one. And yeah, again, normally you see these two rotate. That's the old playstyle with them. But yeah, to me it's still kind of a little bit strange to see Tyrande a bit more these days. I'll still reserve judgment a bit. I mean, even on Battlefield of Eternity, when we saw her recently, she didn't make that great of an impression. But there, at least she has the added use, like she can be used against the Immortal. So she is a little bit more useful on that map than she is on others. If you're playing Tyrande on a map like this one, you really, really need to connect those stuns and make sure that the Hunter's Mark is there so that you can blow targets up. And to be absolutely honest, if I look at that combo, there's not really a whole lot of burst damage where I'm like, okay, this is amazing. What they can use, on the other hand, is a stun setup with a Junkrat follow-up to get a target out of position. So if he connects a mine, they can definitely try and make a couple of plays there. Maybe that's the thought process from them. I guess time will tell to see if they can execute it. It's interesting already that we have on level 4 Sledgehammer for Muradin. Not something you normally see. Helps him, of course, to get his baseline quest completed a little bit quicker. Helps him with late game damage, in particular against structures. But also, thanks to the baseline quest completion, you can then start to work on the cooldown reduction with the auto attacks and those piercing bolts. So it's actually going to be an interesting playstyle that we're going to see here. I am still wondering a bit what we're going to see on level 10, since this is pretty much more the North American style. And yeah, they're kind of famous for experimenting a lot more with Haymaker than the Europeans do. So we'll actually see with how this looks out. So over here already, here comes the setup against Johanna. And well, the first objective is up, so it's time to shine and try and check that out. But yeah, definitely have my eye a little bit on the Tyrande pick here. We've seen her a couple of times, not that often, I think 2 or 3 times in the last couple of weeks. Didn't really work in any of these cases. And so far the playstyle is at least not leading itself to any kind of blow-up composition, but with the Junkrat follow-up, I could definitely see them try to just push the target out of position. Which honestly would work with Muradin alone too. Level 7 talents are in, we got Calamity as usual, we got the Ancestral Wrath in, and in comes even the Skullcracker. Alright, interesting setup here. Skullcracker is through, Khaldor's Resistance is in, the pinpoint accuracy to complement the level 1 talent choice a little bit. Still, of course, a couple of talents that are absolutely mandatory. As I said earlier, the newest patch was trying to target some of the builds on heroes where you have to be... where Blizzard was trying to give people a bit of an incentive to be a bit more diverse in talent builds, but there are still talents that are totally mandatory on some heroes, like this one, for example. Calamity on the high level of play is a must-have. If you go into an AWP build that's just meme bullshit that might work in Storm League but has nothing to do with a competitive setup. So if Blizzard really wants to make a few of these heroes that have very stable builds more diverse, they need to address talents like that. Make them either baseline on the hero, change them a little bit, or just really buff the alternatives. And I think that's pretty much what they're trying to do here recently. That could be a kill, and it is a kill. Muradin is down pretty much immediately. But we see the follow-up against Thrall. There's a lot of heroes dead and dying. Oh my god. 3 down right away. Nice dodge. Mokri needs to be careful. But that's how all of this starts up, with a kill against Muradin. The dwarf is down. We have 2 kills against 1, and the red team is currently taking over. So let's see what they can do at this point towards the objective, because they're already at 81%. So they are actually really putting the pressure onto the Snowflakes now. A lot of it. This is a perfect setup to make sure that your opponent has to react or simply give it up, and they just give it up. They're just saying like, yep, whatever. It's fine, take it. We're good with that. So now the push through the middle, 2 kills against 1. Up at the top, Junkrat is pretty much soloing the lane, and nobody is dealing with this, but I think the rotation, yeah, there it is, starts to happen any moment. The goal with the first Protector is still the same. You're trying to do a bit of damage in the middle, but the main target is the fountain right over here, which is now getting attacked. And I really like that they have another setup at the bottom of the map, because this is where the third objective then will spawn. And of course the goal is to also take the fountain down here, so that the opponent doesn't have any lane sustain on that map anymore. So with them attacking both lanes, they can do some serious damage. They took the fountain out, which is half the battle already won. Haymaker as predicted. I mean, with that build, he actually goes for Haymaker. Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, it's a bit of a... I mean, they're going full in A in this one. They're going full in A in this game. Let's see if it works out for them. We have the nano boost, we got Li Ming in, so this is where Galaxy can try and shine. But it's... yeah, I don't know. We actually got a Haymaker Muradin in this game. I guess we can go for a Junkrat Mine and then a Haymaker afterwards and go for a little bit of a pseudo kidnap combo without stitches. Something like that. But either way, now that the bottom wall is opened up and the fountain is exposed, they can prep the third lane soon. Up at the top, of course, the fountain is already gone. Not really a big lead in experience, but the situation is definitely decent for the Fireflies right now. So we'll see what happens with that. And over to the left side, yep, there's another turret taken as well, which leaves us, of course, with a healing beacon right here. Now, I want to stress this again, of course, for a lot of the players, this is a territory where they can... Glader's Medallion, and gets away. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good use here, actually, getting away from this. Uh-oh, they might not get away from Galaxy. Galaxy, wave of force, Muradin, hop, little dwarf, hop or die. Hop or die. You are running the wrong way, my friend. He actually gets out, does he? That's it. It's the kill. Alright, he tried. He tried. No, as I was about to say, for a lot of the players here, it's a bit of a playing ground where they can show themselves and their skills a bit more. Just, you know, tell people, hey, pick me for your team after all the HTC players have been picked off. But it's also where you... I mean, a lot of the teams that we've seen in the past are having a little bit more fun in this game and experiment with other talents. Then again, I honestly think that if you're trying to recommend yourself for something like a league, you shouldn't go into meme heroics like Haymaker. I don't know. I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. Having fun with games is of course kind of nice, but if you're playing in an exhibition match and you're not a player that is guaranteed to be picked, like a former HGC player, you should probably go into a bit more of a serious build. And Haymaker was, and for the foreseeable future will be, more of a meme than anything else. So unless you're heavily ahead with your team, you should probably just try to play a proper game. Because that doesn't necessarily make sure that you're going to get picked for one. But either way, we got the Bronze Beard Raging. Ana actually gets taken down over here, so that was a nice snipe. And let's see what we're going to get. Blessed Shield comes out as they're trying to go and set up another kill. Galaxy, of course, is still firing away here. In the middle of the map, we have our side laner battle between Thrall and Mystic Leeds. They're getting the Trolling Thunder in that one-on-one situation, but good old Sonya. She is crushing it a little bit. Mystical Spear is in. And, well, let's see. Up at the top, there we go. CPX, Mystic Leeds all moving away already. I mean, to be fair, it's already a bit of a surprise to see Muradin in the first place. It's not really a top tank these days. Like, it's not really a tank that you would immediately jump to and say, like, alright, that guy is full on hard meta at this point. So, in terms of tank picks, we don't really see him a whole lot. Honestly, I think I've, in the last few months, never seen Muradin as often as in these North America games that we're casting here. So those are the only ones where we're actually seeing him. In most of the other cases, unless you have full-on bans against tanks, he doesn't really make any kind of like appearance, either as a pick or a ban. But Ana, by the way, gets murdered here. Can they actually save her? Wow! Really? Xavalosh is alive? How did they do that? Wow! The double kill! Galaxy going ham over here. Check that shit out. They're diving deep for it. Then the Sylvanas arrow comes out and silences them. And now Muradin is dead again. And that's an easy kill right here. Okay. Fair enough. Ana was just a bait all along. Xavalosh is a master baiter. Finally, we found out what's going on here. he's just putting himself into awkward positions, baits the opponent to focus on him, and then the rest of the team starts to help him and takes him down. So now another camp about to be taken, but they already have 5 kills against 2. They have a good position for the top. I mean, it's not really over just yet, the fight for the next protector, but with level 16 being this close, this is actually one of those instances where the new shields might also become useful, because right now Galaxy can just poke out CPX a little bit, and in the days of old before the patch, all that Junkrat had to do is drop mines on the fountain, and that would have been an easy kill. But now with the shield regenerating and regenerating fast, you can definitely hold that by yourself, and that's actually pretty cool, so that could have a huge impact. Up at the top now, the fight is already starting to come up. We have our level 16 talents on only one side, but the snowflakes are about to grab theirs too. There's 99% on the progress bar for the Fireflies on the other hand, so there's that. Mirrodin with the stone form after the Bronzebeard Rage on level 13, so definitely interested in having a little bit more sustainability when he's not with Sonya. Quest completed. Okay. And Mori makes it. Oh, maybe he doesn't make it out. That was a nice one. Good job by Zarya. Trying to corner them here. The follow-up. Haymaker comes out too. Jojo still alive. Trying to play for the cooldown. Tyrande is dead though. Johanna is dropped as well. So 1 versus 1 on that end. And Xamalosh just pew-pewing away against Mirrodin. There we go. Galaxy coming in with the kills. He goes for 1. He goes for 2. Jumps out. And everybody's dead. And the Protector touches ground. 5-man team wipe, baby. All right. Yeah, that was actually a big one. And good job by Galaxy in particular here. Hopping around with Calamity the entire time. Dodging out on most of the damage. Hasn't died once yet in the entire game. We have him at 32,000 damage. Top damage in the game, I might add. And they're actually going for the top keep. We have Sylvanas at the bottom of the map doing her solo thing, just saying, okay, I'm gonna deal with the fort at the bottom. Don't worry about me. And at the top, they're trying to take down the keep itself. I'm not sure if they can take the entire thing, but even just dropping it down super low would help them a lot here. There's no fort in the middle, so I'm not quite sure where else they would rotate to right now. Or maybe try and take the wall in the middle as well. Just open the walls up. Give Sylvanas a little bit more space at the bottom of the map. That's a big leading experience, of course, now. 10 to 3 kills will do that for you. And they're looking pretty strong at this point. And again, problematic is, of course, still that when you're comparing the numbers here too. Oh, actually, Jojo, careful, anchoring the play here at the side. Yeah, when you look at a couple of the numbers here, one of the things that immediately sticks out is that we're having, of course, Mirrodin dead 4 times already. So the tank is getting bullied completely. Not having Avatar definitely doesn't help them. As I said, other choices in for the tank would have probably been a little bit better. And as you can see from the kill count, if you are looking at Mirrodin and Tyrande, normally you need a burst damage for that. So if the idea here was really to just try and take heroes down with stun combos, first of all, it's a bit problematic these days anyways because of the Gladiator's Medallion. That's the first problem that that combo will have. Second of all, you don't have the burst damage, so you're literally relying on Junkrat being around to put the target out of position or a Haymaker follow-up. And so far we haven't really seen a lot of that. So it's a pretty big gamble. It seems to be like a high risk, low reward combo that doesn't really work out for them. So yeah, not really working as you can see here. Either way, they might be able to make a bit of a comeback happen if they just take the next Protector, but of course that one is going to be a bit tricky to take. Very safe play now also for Mockery at the bottom of the map with the Sylvanas just staying at the fort saying like, yeah, as long as I don't have vision on the opponent, I'm not going to move out. There's no reason for me to. I can literally wait for the experience to come to me. All that we want to do is get the level 20 and try and save our forts in the meantime, which is exactly what they're currently doing right now. So we have them with 20. Radiating Faith is out. We got the Earthen Shield in for Thrall. And of course the Wave of Force upgrade with the Repulsion for Li Ming. And yeah, that leaves her with Sylvanas. Bolt of the Storm could be used here for her. Just try and hop out whenever she gets locked down then as well. But that's a perfect setup for the next objective. Which, to be fair, hasn't been announced yet. So there's actually time for the Snowflakes to try and get their own level 20. And they are going to be the ones to play this a little bit more defensive now. Since there would be nothing better for the Fireflies than actually taking battles now. So the goal is just take as many items as they can. Oh, here comes the level 20. Sylvana is going straight into the Withering Barrage over here. Alright. Yeah, trying to get even more damage out. Let's actually check out how much damage we have on Sylvanas. 32,000, so a bit of a battle between her and Li Ming. Yeah, and they are pushing the bot lane even harder now. They know that they have map control. You have level 20, your opponent doesn't have map control, period. Unless, of course, we're talking about a numeric advantage for the opponent's team. But they want to prep for the next objective. So as long as they dodge Junkrat's mines here, they're going to be looking at a pretty good setup to burn this entire wall down, which makes it even easier to take the keep if they are able to claim the protector. Need to make sure that nobody dies. Good connect here from Tyrande, but not enough damage as a follow-up to really threaten Thrall. There's the Blessed Shield. They're trying to go for the play. And can they get Junkrat? No, they go for Zarya first, and they try to go for the follow-up against Muradin and nearly get him. But with the turrets also deployed, that's the end of the keep. The bot lane is wide open as the control point unlocks in just a few more seconds. Talking about things unlocking, another turret camp is about to pop up. They already have their own available on the right side. Jojo is down at the bottom of the map. Level 20 is in the hands of the Snowflakes, but that doesn't really help you if Zarya is dead, so it's a 4 versus 5, so that's a problem. Right now, we got the extra oomph already in. We got the Eyes of the Huntress. We have Rewind for Muradin, but the turret is taken. The one on the right side is going to be claimed next. And they have another 20 seconds before it's a 5 versus 5 on the map. And all that time is being used to get more items, get more percentage points on the progress bar. Muradin moving in here needs to be very careful. Nice dodge. That was a close call, though. Yeah, but they take the item regardless. Jojo was immediately there. And look how quickly Muradin was actually getting crushed in this one. Again, the build that is being used here also doesn't take healing static. We don't have a level 4 double clap. They're trying to at least take a camp at the top, which is pretty much the only thing that they can do before they go into the fight. They need at least have some items. Now, they gotta take the fight, obviously. So they will move down to try and take that battle. And the Fireflies are fully aware of that. I mean, fully aware. So they're already sitting at the side here with Jojo. They're not moving too far out. They want to know where the opponent approaches from. They have lane vision thanks to the minions pushing out. And now they know exactly what's coming. There's the Riptire already. The first one coming in here. Yeah, and the attack 99%. And for the red team, this is all or nothing. Win the fight or... sorry, for the blue team. Win the fight or get murdered. And then Sonya pulls a Houdini and just disappears from the map. Has no counter kill as it seems. Thrall is coming in again. Ana's a little bit low here. Needs to be careful. But still. Oh, good hits. Nice heals. Jojo looking strong again. But that could be a kill against Sylv. She makes it out. Oh! No! The kill against Ana. Zarya with the plays. Mori is also low. The blue team might just be able to pull it off here. Protect isn't taken yet. And Junkrat is firing away from the backline the entire time here. 37,000 from Zarya now. They're trying to take it here. Catapults are, by the way, on the core. We're 18 minutes in. They're thankfully going to be taken down by the minion wave. But just imagine this a few more minutes into the game. All of a sudden, it would have been a real problem for the Snowflakes. Interesting setup. Now, up at the top side, there's one catapult that already locked onto the keep, but the minion wave attacked it before the supporting wave came in. So this one isn't down yet either. If they can stall out the fight at the bottom a bit longer, then they might actually have a chance that the second catapult takes it. But Sonya has moved up now. Well, actually, she's still hiding a little bit. She feels she has to come back down since the red team is signaling that they're willing to fight for this one. There's a lot of experience going to be missed in the middle of the map. This could actually damage the keep too. And up at the top, with the second minion wave coming in, this keep could fall. So the blue team is investing a lot here. They're not sending anybody back to deal with those two lanes. That might become a problem. Junkrat is finally on the move as the fort is about to fall. But as you can see here, the fountain is already eliminated. And the keep here is also taking damage. CPX should probably be a little bit more worried about the top, if I'm honest here. Because the catapult could take that one down. Yeah, is finally in, and he's going to save it. In the middle of the map, the protector gets burned down, so the only thing that the Snowflakes got from this objective is a fort at the bottom. Didn't even kill the fountain, by the way. So it's only the fort that they got. But look how low this thing is. They can take this at any point. If they just move Ana in position, she can get an easy hit in, one combo, and that's that. So outside of this, we have 51,000 damage for Sylvanas. And 49k for Li Ming. Both of them looking very solid here in the damage numbers. The Protector is nearly down, has another 40 seconds left. Sonya's already moving in from the side, or at least trying to. There's 2 heroes that haven't died yet. Both of the damage dealers for the red team have not fallen once. By the way, bit of a look at the experience, just so they get an idea of how this comes to pass. So a lot more experience through mercenary camps for the Fireflies. Passive experience also much higher for them, thanks to all the forts they took out early. So they are taking a significant lead in the XP. And this is why they got the early level 20 as well. But if you, for example, look over to the minion experience, there's a pretty big gap there too. I mean, on all ends, the Fireflies are pretty much winning this right now. The problem is, if you lose a team fight this late in the game, all of these advantages don't matter anymore, and you're gonna end up likely losing map control, and that might snowball it against you. So they gotta be careful and really respect those 5-mans. They have the item advantage though, so that's already good for them. If they can push out the top lane at some point, that would be good too. Ana in particular has been continuously attacked over there on the back. And yep, here we go again. Trying to make a play for the next one. Yeah, he gets hit by Tyrande. The owl hit hard. But let's go. Next objective isn't even announced yet, but they might go for the fight even beforehand. There's a combo attempt. Okay, Zarya, careful. That's actually kind of cool for her. The level 20 did so much work in the last fight. So having that as an option really helped those kills that they got. The kill against Ana in particular. Attacking the backline there. But they're actually starting to push even more aggressively. They have a camp at the top, they have a setup in the middle, and they have now Sonya at the bottom. Should probably not really be too aggressive over here. After that wave, fall back a bit, because the rotation is already underway. At least to an extent. They're not really sure if they want to stick it out in the middle and defend the fort, or if they want to go for the potential kill against Sonya. They rotate down now, but Sonya has already started to peel off the bot lane. 25 stacks for Muradin on his level 1. And still poking around here a bit. Up at the top side, Junkrat coming in with another Riptire here, at least trying to. Xamalosh is really in a spot where you don't envy him. He's just sitting in the back here and he knows that he's the primary target. So it's just like trying to get away. Riptire driving by, coming through. Yeah, that one didn't do anything. Alright. Nothing happened here. Okay. So with this, we have the fort finally destroyed. They're starting to make the move on the top side now. Everybody's just waiting for the objective. I mean, it's literally just both of the teams just like trying to see if they can maybe catch someone. But honestly, everybody is waiting for the next objective. They know that that's the fight that they have to win, that they have to go for. But the big question is really what's going to happen. What's going to happen here now? Objective is going to spawn in the middle. Technically speaking, I guess they could still try and make a play for the top keep, but why go that deep? If you lose that fight, the game is pretty much over, and you don't want to risk that, especially now since we're so close to the next objective being announced. But it's all about items. You're trying to get that advantage. There's one turret and a healing beacon in the hands of the red team, and on the other side, I think we got one turret. So it's a bit of an item advantage that we have for the Fireflies, but the objective is coming in, and that's the big one. This is really where we're going to see the fireworks. Whoever wins this is likely going to win the game. And the Snowflakes already have the 1-0 lead in the series here. So you don't want to enter the third map with a 2-0 disadvantage. You want to make it a bit more exciting and decide this entire thing in your favor. But let's go. Another item about to be taken. So that's a turret advantage. 3 items against 1 if they take it, but they haven't. Instead they're going for Muradin. The arrow didn't do anything. Mokri got the nano boost. Ooh. Mokri with the nano boost, not Galaxy, and they're all on the run. They still have the fountain, they can tap it. Even with the fountain, it doesn't mean anything. Ana is down, they're trying to go for a follow-up kill, and Mori gets burnt away to easy double kill for the Snowflakes. The entire game, they were hammered into the ground, and now all of a sudden they're winning the fights in the late game, and they are bodying them. Ana with problems here. Definitely a bit of a weird setup. Starting to be aggressive. I mean, honestly, they got baited into a fight. They thought they could get an easy kill, and then they were shut down. They dropped the nano boost on Sylvanas, jumped in deep, overextended there a little bit, and then on the way back, they were running into trouble. So now, once more, we have Galaxy trying to save the day, moving in from the side and buying a bit more time. Honestly, is buying a lot of time. 18 seconds on Ana, that might just be possible for them. The shields aren't even down yet. If they can stay alive, I mean, that's a big if. But here comes the attack now for the core. Everybody is still trying to make those plays, but Galaxy is low, and that's a problem. And the core on the other side is, by the way, falling, so the catapults are about to win the game here. It's Winion time, baby. The blue team, oblivious. They have sent one back. Double kill against the red team. 26 points on the core. What's happening over here on the right side? Can they defend this? Sylvanas and Thrall are both down. They're trying to make the play for Tyrande. What a game. 40% in this one. Can they save the core? Where's Galaxy with the resets? He's too late. That's game. The Snowflakes with a 2-0 lead. Game number 3. The memes are real today. The Snowflakes have a 2-0 lead over the Fireflies. The Winions nearly deciding game number 2, but then the blue team got their win after all. Haymaker Muradin actually won a game. Might not have been the most top level game here, but hey, we'll take that win. So mark it in your calendar. And yeah, it's not gonna happen all that soon again. Fun one though, real fun game and a pretty cool finish too. Now we have on game number 3 Cursed Hollow, Mystic leads on Abathur towards the left. We got CPX on Genji. We currently have Locks on Brightwing, Slurt on Chromie, Xerox on Garrosh, and over to the right side, Galaxy on Falstad, C2D2 on Sonya, Mori on Diablo, Xavalosh on Lucio, and Mokri is playing Vala. Okay. Let's double check what's gonna happen in game number 3. What's gonna happen over here. Should actually be a fun setup. First of all, we have in this case, I mean, it's a little bit... It's a little bit of a weird one. I mean, when you look at the compositions that we had today, you can definitely tell that this is not necessarily the top level of the games that we've seen there. We have a couple of really cool players in these games, but at least the drafts have been a bit more out there. Now, I like that we have this setup with Genji plus Abathur just because it's annoying as hell. You got a Brightwing on top of that, so technically speaking, you could go for the old school combo where you're just trying to go for a dive bomb with Emerald Wind. Don't see that all that much anymore. We even have a Vala in play who could have gone for an arrow build just to get a bit more boss control here, which would have been kind of fun. But if you're looking at more of a setup that tries to deal with the lanes and wave clear, then of course you want to go into a standard setup with multi-shot. But it's definitely an interesting series today. I like that, honestly. It's a fun one. It's really an entertaining one. Game number 1 was already kind of cool, and then the second one had a pretty stellar finish. Now we're looking at the third map, and we got an Abathur, which is always a big win. Plus also Falstad, who in this case goes straight up for the Wingman on level 1. But let's also double check a little bit how this Abathur-Genji combo works out in the first place. That should be pretty sweet as well. So, yeah, as all of this happens, we get down to the bottom of the map. Xerox this time, more of a meta tank, gets also a bit of help from Abathur here. Whereas on level 1 gone straight into the pressurized glance, trying to help, of course, Genji out a bit as all of this happens. Interestingly enough, both teams went for their bruiser camp first. So for the red team that makes total sense, since the first objective spawns at the top sides, they want to take their siege giants late. But for the blue team, it's a bit of a surprise, because normally when you're in this situation, you want to take your siege giants first, since they won't get value during the first objective, and then you take your bruiser camp a bit late, because it can still pressure the middle. So they decided against that traditional run, and are playing this a bit different now. Talking about playing it different, we actually have an arrow build from, solo kill here for CPX against Sonya all the way up at the top. Good for him. But we have a bit of a different setup here for Vala too. So we got a hybrid build that I've commentated on in the past a bit, which can be kind of neat if you're going into the hot pursuit plus then the puncturing arrow. Mostly something that you see when a player doesn't really expect that he's going to get a lot out of Monster Hunter, because obviously the level 1 talent on the arrow gives you a bit more with the mana cost reduction, but you get also way more out of the hot pursuit. The problem of course is that if you're trying to get some extra camp clear, you kind of want to go for the level 1 talent. And with the double boss up on the map, I'm a bit surprised that Mokri doesn't go for his level 1. Because Monster Hunter here would have been pretty neat to lock in those bosses easily with the rest of the team in those later situations. But so far we're not seeing that at all. Falstad, by the way, exactly where it's supposed to be. I'm so happy to finally see something like that. So they took the camp at the bottom of the map, as they should. Problematic I mean, problematic is that the tribute is caught real quickly. If that wasn't the case, so Siege Giants and Falstad at the bot lane would have forced a rotation down, which is what we're seeing from Genji now. But that allows them to get an easy first objective. That's exactly how you have to set that up. Get the global on the other side of the map, get the Siege Giants timed properly, and Bob's your uncle. So that's exactly what we're seeing here right now. I like that. So we'll see how that works out now. We got all the way up at the top now, a little setup here as well, as Diablo is trying to go for a bit of a kill. Has to be careful that he himself doesn't find himself in the focus fire. And here's the push right away. Okay, more, yeah. With the behind the wall, that might be a little bit better for him. Okay, so there we go. Vala's still sitting in the middle, doing her thing. And down to the bottom of the map, we have CPX just sitting around. Obviously on level 7, there's the boomerang now. European player detected. And with that, we have the wave clear for Falstad so that he can play the side lanes properly. Yeah, the mule is up for Abathar on level 7. We got the Adrenal Overlord in now as well. And of course the repeating arrow, since Vala is still trying to go for that arrow build. Again, the adjustment on level 1. Still, for this map it's a bit weird. There's a couple of maps where if you want to play an arrow build, it's actually a really sweet setup. Normally we see either a straight up arrow build or multi-shot setup, but there are certain maps where it's really kind of cool to have the mix. But I really feel that over here it would have been a bit more beneficial to go for the bosses and have that extra camp clear. That would allow you to just be a bit fast on this. Now they have good control over the boss point anyways with Falstad. Problem is of course that you still got those Gladiators medallions. Those in general ruin a lot of plays lately for heroes, so you have to be careful with that. Once that the cooldown is of course burned, there's a 5-minute window in which you can be way more aggressive around it, but still. We got our level 10 talents coming up next. Already a little bit of vision about to be grabbed at the bottom of the map. I like the style, by the way. Our little Silver Surfer over here is just going full on carpet. Yeah, trying to get the damage. I honestly can see CPX later on just absolutely crushing the back line with a bit of Abathar support and right wing jumping in to help him out. So they really need to be careful that they can shut him down. And that's where stuns in particular become kind of interesting. But we'll see if Diablo or Sonya are able to really lock him down enough for the rest of the team to get some kills there. Falstad needs to be careful. I mean, if you have a Genji with an Abathar in a game, Falstad is usually getting toasted. It's one of the reasons why I wouldn't have been surprised to see Galaxy go into a few more Lightning Rod talents just to get the extra shield there. There's the attempt up for the top. Again, Monster Hunter is not part of this, and the blue team might be using that to try and force that fight. But they still have a few heroes down at the bottom, and it's actually pretty weird setup, because right now we have Galaxy trying to save this. Now, you have to, of course, keep in mind that there is an Abathar on the other side, so that's the exact point why the Fireflies are doing this. They're splitting themselves a bit, because they know that there is no 5th hit point pool in the game. But they need to be really careful as Abathar is starting to help out, and they have given up the bottom now. Falstad is flying in. So, yeah, straight into this one. Drops the medallion right away. Already used the barrel roll. And cooldown got back in time for him to make the escape here. Level 10 abilities nearly there. Boss taken barely, I might add. Sonya with Leap. Leap Sonya. No big surprises outside of that. Vala going into some extra stuns herself, so no strafe. And Strafe the Rain of Vengeance. Another tool that they can use against CPX when he makes the dive into the backline. But Dibbles hasn't made a choice yet either. Very likely going to be an Apocalypse though. Trying to get some stun combos up and Sonya to follow up on that. But the boss is now taken up at the top. And they're not making rotation down to the bottom to try and get the second one. They have to deal with the camp in the middle first, and they're taking their own one now too. Dibbles is actually waiting for the level 10 choice. A little bit curious as to why. I don't really think that it would be very beneficial for him to go into a Lightning Breath in this game right now. Especially not with those close quarter fights that we could see around bosses and tributes. Gets flipped over and thrown out here. Here comes the engage, and Vala is dead. Gets murdered immediately. Yep, that's what Genji with Abathar can do for you. Jumping into the backline there already, and the ult on Lucy was just a bit too late. They're making the play now for the top, and they can chase them down hard. I am not sure if there's enough control to really make sure that Genji isn't murdering them as this continues. There's a couple of squishies in the backline that are incredibly vulnerable to all of these dives, and they do not have a lot of good tools to deal with that right now. So if they play it really well, they can. but it's going to be a tough game for them, for sure. Galaxy is trying to, therefore, go more for a macro approach. Obviously, with the European players on the side of the red team, they also still have that ping disadvantage that we've been talking about a bit. And if you go up against a hero like Genji, that can be a bit of a detriment. 4 stacks by now for Vala. But the big question will really be if they can maybe utilize the global advantage here. Now, there is obviously an Abathur on the other side, so it's not like there's no counterplay to that. Brightwing is also there. But Falstad might be the one that can use his push power through Boomerang to push these lanes out a little bit further. I guess at the end of the day, it really depends on how good Mystic Lead is going to play this out with Abathur. If he can push the side lanes too and make sure that Falstad doesn't get any momentum through this, if he counterbalances him the entire time, then the red team is not going to be able to do too much on the macro side, outside of reacting. Sonya at the top already put into a bit of a tricky position for just a second, but this follow-up stun doesn't connect. But this could be a curse. This is a curse for one team or another. So Abathur is already sitting at the bottom of the map. Falstad is a bit isolated. Galaxy has to make sure that he doesn't face check too hard over here, because Genji is still visible in the middle. Doesn't really have to do anything. Can actually wait this out. Nice. CPX checks the bush. Good for him. There's the level 13 abilities, and that's a big lead now for the Snowflakes. That could be the first curse. So much transference on 13 for Abathur. That alone is already going to be great. In addition to that, we now have the Blood Craze and the Way of the Shimada right here as well. That's actually pretty sexy talent for him too. So, right now, is there going to be a leap follow-up on anything? No, not so much. Already YOLO'd out the level 10 on Dip. Oh, that actually didn't connect. That might just be the curse. Yeah, there it is. Nicely done. First shot didn't connect, missed it, and then the second one gets soaked up by Dibbles, and now they're cursed. And Falstad does what he has to do. He immediately flies down to the bottom of the map and starts to push out the lane. But Mori is about to go down. He comes back thanks to the soul stacks that he had. The rest of the team is on the run. I'm not so sure if it's really beneficial for the blue team to chase this hard unless they get a few more kills in. Ah, there's the jump. Vala is down again. Abathur takes her down. Chromie is dealing with the top lane. Talking Abathur, by the way, that's a dead slug at the bottom of the map. That slugger is down. Yep, it's a party. Over here, Vala dies first, as you can see. Then they're trying to go for a follow-up. They couldn't get it. But then down at the bottom of the map, Abathur is dead. Good job. The bird ate the worm. 5 kills, 2-1. Firefly is still pushing this out, but they're behind in experience now. They're, of course, trying to get fort number 2, which they successfully can log in. He should have taken the experience here. Okay, he does. Because they have vision. They see, like, one was down. They still have knowledge of where exactly Genji is and where Garrosh was. So, yeah, Sonya soaking the experience at the top. The additional wave makes a whole lot of sense here. Now, with the level 13 talents coming in, Vala does pretty much the only sensible thing and goes for Gloom on 13. Kinda has to against the setup. And so far, Mokri is actually really struggling to get stacks together. We're 11 minutes in and he has 6 stacks on the level 4. So, definitely having some trouble with that. Diablo by now also with a Hellfire at this point on his level 13. But yeah, let's actually see how they can play this out with the bosses that are still up. Because first of all, this one comes up in another 3 seconds down at the bottom of the map. This one already gets attacked. But they can now trade 1 for 1 easily. Yeah, full 5-man commitment. And they have all 3 lanes pushing now. Now there's a bit of counter pressure in the middle as both teams have taken a mercenary camp. But at the bottom of the map, they will have to react to that. Boss is obviously going to push the lane out too, so it's not going to be a real problem with the Siege Giants. Up at the top, this one is taken as well. Chromie double checks what's happening, so they know what's on. Problem is that there's level 60 now ready for the blue team. So there is not really a whole lot that the Fireflies can do for now. They actually have to play this safe, they have to wait this out. And as I say it, they are going for the steal up here. Nice, I like that. But full 5-man commitment, are they sticking around for this? I don't really see that happening. If there's a full 5-man defense at the top side, they could jump onto the fort and take that down and just play around the opponent, use again those macro plays that I mentioned earlier. They're ignoring the boss at the bottom of the map right now. Shouldn't be able to do too much. There's nobody else pushing with it, so with the catapult helping out and the fort being here, they might lose the fort, but they're still trading well. Because top side, the wall gets pretty much opened up as we speak. And all that the red team is trying to do is get level 16, right? So they're catching up in experience. That's the main goal here. And let's go. At this point, it is looking good.
Falstad siege damage is of course what he's mainly focused on right now. And there's the level 16 talents. So off we go. Me likey. But yeah, let's check this out. Falstad also, standard, Flow Rider into Airy Gust. Pretty solid build here from him. Focused very heavily also on the cooldown reduction right now. Again, they're going to try and really push these lanes out. He's the main wave clear hero for them now, since Vala has gone into a very different build. Vala, by the way, also with the Seething Hatred right now. So not even a Manticore setup for her. It's going to be interesting because... again, the level 4 isn't really... especially in this situation, I'm a little bit weary about this. With an arrow build, you can definitely go Seething Hatred. We've seen it in the past, we're going to see it again. But with only 6 stacks on the level 4, I mean, he needs to do a lot better on the stacks to really get value out of this. If you have Manticore, then you definitely are going to get a lot of value once you hit your level 20. But they seem to be pretty cautious over there. Falstad has to fly in, and is doing that as we speak. Yeah, there's the hits connected. Vala is again a little bit far out. Gets another stun connect though. Sonya is down already on the other hand. The copy on Abathar is about to go down any second. Yeah, Apok didn't connect here either. Mokri still getting some shots connected. Good for him. 9 stacks by now. Might be able to work another one in if he has the vault ready. Doesn't seem like the cooldown is there. Trying to make the play. And there it is. The kill against Genji. Abathar doesn't stand a chance anymore. Keep in mind, this could have been a curse for the blue team. Instead, they're looking for a kill. Oh, the poly! And the kill. A good wall stun. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Vala is low, like, oh my god, she could have been taken out by Abathar there. That was a good one. He is able to get away as Mori sacrifices himself for the team, and the blue team turns it around. Wow, what a setup. Nice. That was actually pretty neat. 8 kills to 2. Alright. First fort falls on the red team side, and actually they're waiting a little bit. They want to have Genji back for that push. They know with this 4 versus 3 there's no chance for the Fireflies to contest this, so they're going to wait a little bit longer. They have now Genji there in just a few seconds, so he's going to be back on the map. But the whole attempt here is really to try and play a little bit more on the macro level. Let's look at the damage output too. Falstad with the focus onto the side lanes is sitting at 11,000. We have Dibbles at 12. Vala has 18, so you can really tell there's a bit of a damage problem that they're currently having. The fights are just not going their way. The melees aren't really able to get the damage in the way they want to. Vala is not popping off with her arrow build either. We have 26,000 for Abathar, 32 for Genji, who can easily jump into the backline with the Abathar support, with Brightwing assisting. And Chromio, of course, has so much freedom and space to work with. It's fantastic for her. Dibbles is down, so is Vala. Here comes the copy, and they're going with the double Genji straight for the backline. Another hero dead and down. That's it, 4-man, and they go for the 5-man team wipe. They try to make the play for the keep itself, and I think we are looking at a 3-0 victory for the Snowflakes. They're going straight in for the core as we speak, and with everybody down, there's absolutely no chance to save this any longer. Nicely done. Good job by the blue team. Well played here. Very aggressive, and Genji just was a bit unstoppable. Demolished the backline, and the Fireflies didn't have an answer here. GG, and well played.